Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, Capital Markets Analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to take a look at a headset report looking at 10 different markets. On the line with us is Dan Kimmis with Good CBD Products. So, cannabis market overview for January 2020. Going to take a look on 10 legal cannabis markets. So a quick overview, starting with the Alberta market, a top player in Alberta with both flower and pre-rolls. Kanaka is bringing some movement to the market last month. In particular, they're seeing success at their blend of 14 pre-rolls. They have 3 packs, 1.5 grams in total weight, retailing for $15 before tax. $5 a joint. They're seeing about 31 million in sales in Alberta. Average, let's see, they don't really have too much because a lot of that information is coming soon. British Columbia was just up there for the Lift Expo. They have 14 million in total sales. Average basket is $39. That's pretty high. Well, their prices are high up there too, so that makes sense. The California market, lots of movement in the market last month. Quick shout out to Chiba Chews for gaining traction with their edibles. Total market sales, 261 million. Year over year sales is 63% with an average basket size of $56. That's a lot. So their brand concentration is 32%. I think there's maybe 5 companies in Washington that have at least 20% market share. So concentrated already in that early California market. When looking at Colorado, Altus is a standout brand in the Colorado marketplace with their capsules and topicals gummies. Their gummies are marketed based on flavor and mood with blueberry and chill, kiwi comfort, among other flavors. They're seeing a significant growth the past month. Total sales for Colorado, 121 million for January. Year over year growth is almost 15% with an average basket size of $53 and brand concentration at about 20%.
What do you think drives that higher basket price there?
My guess is some of the retailers in Colorado being seed to sale, they grow, they produce, and they sell all of their products are probably able to bundle better, offering discounts for products that don't sell as well, maybe topicals. My guess is that on a Friday between hours of 3 and 5, they're bundling edibles with other products that don't maybe sell as well. So there'll maybe be an edible, a pre-roll, and then a topical for $53. I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming that because they have that ability in Colorado, that's probably what they're taking advantage of. Yeah, Colorado is one of the interesting vertical markets, been around for a long time, almost as long as Washington, and yet Washington just kind of continues to throw themselves under the bus. We'll get there eventually. They're the last on the list here. But the Illinois market that just opened up, average basket is $152. I think people are probably going in buying ounces or whatever else, but continuously selling out, a couple $1 million in sales a day. Not bad, Illinois.
That reminds me of when we first started, Cron.
Yeah, every new market, right? They're always going to sell out. They don't have enough product. Saw that in Canada as well. Probably see that in Massachusetts. The Massachusetts market, average basket size, $78. There's a lot of colleges in that area with Boston. You have MIT, Boston College. There's at least 5 universities right there. So I would expect the Boston, Massachusetts area to be a huge East Coast seller. People are talking about New York and all of the tourists and everything, but those tourists are interested in cosmopolitans and coffee, not necessarily cannabis, but maybe maybe I'm wrong. We'll have to see, find out.
Well, and your tourist is going to buy a pre-roll, he's going to buy a quick, I'm here for a few days. Your college kid's going to buy a weekend party load.
Right. So Maryland is next up on the list. Their average basket size is $99. Also a little bit too early to tell what their concentration is or anything else. Year over year sales, they don't have any of that information, but coming out strong with almost $100 per purchase. Recently launched in Nevada in 2019, is taking extremely popular gummies outside of California, bringing them to the market in Nevada. They're already seen over 500,000 in sales since launching their products there. Total sales in Nevada, 54 million, year over year increase 20%. Average basket is $54 and brand concentration is 37%. Nevada is one of those states that have limited retail, so there's a little bit of a monopoly. But we are finally starting to see a crack in the flower prices. There is a dip in flower prices. And I think that's probably going to snowball. And once it comes down, then the next competitor will bring their price down. The next competitor will bring theirs down even further until it's rock bottom.
I was able to find $60 half ounce down there. So, price is definitely on the move.
Wow, that's pretty good. It's considering Oregon is $30 to $40. That's the cheapest I've seen retail. The fact that Nevada has 60. How did it look? Did it look smokable?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
All right, not bad. So speaking of Oregon, total sales for Oregon in January were 77 million. Year-over-year sales increase almost 50% with an average basket size of $33. Sounds like an ounce right there. And their brand concentration don't necessarily have that yet, but I think it's race to the bottom in Oregon.
Yeah, I like that weed. I got to say, I'm on the border right now. I'm sitting in Washington. I'm about 20 minutes from Oregon. I'm looking forward to that today. I'm going to get over there. There's something about the different localities, Chronic. This is what I enjoy about these reports so much, is it just reminds me that for every place we've been, we got 2 more we got to go.
Yeah, there's some great companies down in Oregon from flower to oil. And so if Washington ends up passing this bill that's gaining traction that would limit concentrates to 10%, I think that's going to drive that Oregon market even further for people who are on the border, or folks like myself. I'll be in Portland tomorrow for the Hemp and CBD Connex. I'm moderating a panel with a lawyer, accountant, and banker talking about everything that's hemp and CBD in a regulated market. And when I'm down there, I'll probably pick up some concentrates, maybe a pre-roll, test out some of their products down there. And finally, we're in Washington. So Elevated Vapes released a new vapor pen after the flavor ban in Washington took place in October 2019. 3 new major products. You have the hybrids, blends, the sativa blends, indica blends, all $25 before taxes for a 1 gram cartridge. They've been selling well and helping the brand recover from that vaping crisis. Washington sales in January, 93 million, only a 5% year-over-year sales growth. Average basket size is $27 and brand concentration is 31%. Again, I think there's 5 companies in Washington that have at least 20% market share.
Yeah, finally, right? It's finally starting to coalesce a little bit. It'll be interesting to watch over the next few months. But one of the things that I find personally really, I guess, kind of stunning is that it didn't happen for a long time. I'm speaking about brand concentration, right? It didn't happen. And then whether or not it was the vaping crisis or whatever, it seems like it's happening now, finally.
Yeah, so taking a look at these charts, I guess, trying to get some better information, just looking at graphs here. California obviously has the most sales. They're blowing everybody away, twice as much as Colorado. Year-over-year sales increase, obviously California at 63% is better than Washington's 5%. And then average basket size, I was kind of blown away by the amount. $150 average basket size is quite a bit for Illinois. But I'm assuming, again, people are just going out there buying as much as they can, because I wouldn't want to stand in those 2-hour lines. I'd be buying an ounce too.
Well, right. Stand in line, buy a little bit of weed, go home, come back, and have them run out. So no. We're going to buy as much as we can afford and carry, right?
Mm-hmm. So interesting that Colorado has the lowest brand concentration at just under 20%, whereas California, Nevada, Washington, they're all in the 30s, so around 1/3%. It doesn't surprise me Nevada's the highest because of that somewhat monopoly. But interesting that there's traditional retail cues here where a small number of companies are dominating the sales, and I think the behavior from consumers purchasing are normal too. It's about price and convenience.
Yeah, price, convenience, quality, right? And then the building of a brand and the complexity around building a brand with a substance that is a crop that this harvest was better than that harvest, all of the things that go with, again, time after time, right? The complexity of a cannabis market, right? It's a plant, it's a weed. How do you differentiate your weed from my weed?
Well, before it was about price and convenience. What's the highest THC at the lowest price? Now I think, we're going to see that discerning customer that wants terpenes or a flavor profile or different cannabinoids. So it's going to be about quality. It's going to be about a trusted brand after this vape debacle. So I think you're going to start to see that maturity as companies kind of collapse this year. You're going to see a lot of consolidation. Those that do survive are going to have to follow that trend of a trusted brand with products that are stable and consistent, that are of higher quality than they are now. But it will just be about convenience and somewhat about price. I mean, people are buying Starbucks at $7 for a 50-cent cup of coffee. So as long as there's value, as long as there's an experience that they can come back to, they'll create a strong customer loyalty base.
Hey, coming back. I like that.
Coming back to the Talking Hedge. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.